Comicast 289 with your host,
Pablo Gunner.
And I'm JD, and we are Talk Nerdy to Me, and we are here to talk nerdy to you about this week's comics, which is the week of June the 7th?
June 7th, yes.
2017. We have our own grading scale here, buy, skim, pass, variations of buy and skim, strong buy, week buy, strong skim, week skim, and we have our best book of the week, the B-Bow.
That's right.
Our back of bag.
It's that sleeve, the sleeve in the backing, the board, bag and board, as they say. If you don't know, that's how it goes. And
every time we review a comic, we have a timer, 1 minute for one of us, 2 minutes for both of us, and we have a ringtone. And if you identify that ringtone, Pablo here will hook you up.
I had to wait until it got to the singing part because I felt like it would make it easier for people to guess what it is.
Yeah.
So, one hint, anime. That's it. That's your hint. So nobody guesses them ever.
Really?
So yeah, nobody. I think in the whole time we've been doing this, I think we got two people. Joel got Sonic the Hedgehog, and then somebody else got something else.
Probably like Chrono Cross or something like that. Chrono Trigger.
I don't know, but So yeah, if you guess it, just tell me. Send in give you a free digital code if you get it right.
Before we get started, let's just discuss it. I mean, we had a Black Panther trailer just drop the last few hours. Did you catch it?
Yes. I thought it was yesterday.
It's been the last day at least.
Yeah. It hasn't been long. I think it looks amazing. Andy Serkis was awesome. Like, dude, he's so good.
That one arm is like
so intense.
I'm ready for him to have the laser, the cutting tool.
The Sonic. I thought it was like a Sonic.
Whatever it is, I imagine it's used to mine vibranium.
Yeah.
And that would make the most sense because the purpose, he would be able to hurt the Panther and get what he desires, which is vibranium.
So that'll be cool to see him throw down with Black Panther. And then I just love how they're like,
the costuming is amazing.
Oh man, it's gonna be the most black people we've ever seen. It's gonna be wonderful. It's gonna be like neverthing.
It's gonna be like Luke Cage down up to 11.
Yeah, it's gonna be freaking awesome. I already saw a thing that was like the women of Black Panther. Like they have the what do they call them? The
guards and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're like not just like
guards. I think, or something like that.
They're like really intelligent. They're dumbest people are like
badass.
America's smartest. I mean, their technology is way beyond it. So
way super advanced.
Who knows what Panther's suit can do?
I'm assuming. I don't know. I'm like, I wonder if that's where one of the gems is going to be. But all we have left is what, the soul.
Just the soul gem, yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, maybe not, but even like the vibe that they're just sending of like, oh hey, it's hard to be a good king or to be a good man and a great king.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's crazy. They're getting
there'll be a coup of power somewhere there.
So yeah, that's why originally in the comics, his dad was actually killed by like the gorilla tribe or whatever.
And we have Man-Ape in this trailer too.
So I can't wait to see that, to see the different tribes and stuff, kind of like
it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be freaking awesome. I also forgot to mention too, this came out a few weeks ago, but it definitely needs to be checked out. I don't know if you've seen it, the Black Lightning trailer.
Oh,
looks freaking sick, dude. I was like, before it came out, I was like, I don't care about Black Lightning. I was like, this stupid.
And then you see
the trailer. It came out and I was like, oh my god, I'm so jacked for this. This looks freaking amazing.
And it will be on the DC streaming service that has Young Justice season 3 as well.
Oh really? Okay, cool. So yeah, that looks freaking awesome. I'm like, there's that looks top notch, really high quality. In fact, I've been trying to get back into, because I've missed so much of the DC CW shows.
Mm-hmm.
I am trying to get back into them, and I'm doing it through Netflix because I was like, oh, they're all on Netflix now. Usually you have to wait until the new season comes out, but they have a new deal where it's
1 week.
As soon,
1 week after the season ends, you can watch it all on Netflix.
So I added all of them, and mind you, I don't have to watch the whole season, just half of it, I think, maybe, or from around 12 on or so. But it's hard to get into after watching like Legion and really good shows, dude, because you watch it and you're like, man, the quality is so different. You know, like it's very difficult to be like, I'm like, I think maybe I'll just I'll put this on while I'm playing Breath of the Wild, so it's in the background.
It's background
you know
noise. I'll follow the plot that way.
Yeah.
And then if I need to stop what I'm doing, I'll go back and let me check that.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
When Felicity shows up, then I'll pay attention.
Oh, yeah.
The new Black Canary, she's pretty too. I'm not into brunettes, but she's fantastic. You know, I think I don't, you know, I think she's better than Laurel. You know,
after she was introduced, the story kind of went stale for me.
Yeah.
So I skipped a lot of it.
Oh, okay. But so I don't know what else. I feel like there's. Oh yeah, I also wanted to mention, because I didn't mention this last week. I wanted to mention it because I talked about it, and I'll keep on mentioning it, which is the books for the Xbox Live. I mean, not books. The games for Xbox Live Gold that you can download if you have the service. You
want to do that like the first week of the month? Because
Xbox Live Gold, Lara Croft Temple of Osiris.
That's a great game.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
cool.
You
I don't know if it comes with the DLC or not, but that's a great game.
And then Speedrunners, that looks really cool and really fun. And then for the 360, they had Assassin's Creed 3, and that's just for these 2 weeks. So hurry up and grab them. And then there was also the PlayStation Plus games. You have Life is Strange. And so I played the first episode. I played it before, so I kind of did like a speed run, and I recorded it though.
Nice.
So I am in the process of editing that and throwing that up so people can check that out, see what it's all about.
Do you do your audio through the chat? You like create a private chat room so you can just do your audio at the same time?
You know what? I know that like the controls have their own built-in microphone or something. So I don't know if it automatically picked up my audio or not.
Okay.
That's why
headset.
I'm listening to I'm watching the video, and it's about an hour and a half. The video is for the first episode, and like I said, that's like pretty much me doing a speed run.
Nice.
Because there's when you finish this episode, it says like all the choices, you know, and like it says like all the ones. Like you automatically made, the percentages, and so there's ones you automatically made by not doing them. You know, like, oh, you didn't sign this lady's petition because you just didn't talk to her. So there's a lot to do in the game that I just skipped because I'm trying to do a speed run and just show people the base and the essence of it. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to do the way that it worked. I think it's going to be easier for me to stream the rest of the episodes. So I think what I'm going to do is just get this first episode out for everybody. And then after that, I'm gonna live stream the rest of the episodes. So there's also Killing Floor Killing Floor 2, and it looks kind of like a zombie game, where you're just like
slaughtering everything.
Yeah, you're just slaughtering stuff. So I have that on download as well. At first, I couldn't do it because my thing was full already. Because I don't have the 1 terabyte. I have the 1 terabyte on the 360 on the Xbox, but I don't have the 1 terabyte for the PlayStation. So it's already full.
You can get an external for that.
I need to. It seems like because I didn't delete that much because I don't want to. I'm afraid of like deleting games that I might eventually get back to or play again.
Yeah.
Even though they're games that like I'm like I don't know if I ever will, but I don't want to delete. You know, I just don't want to delete it. I hate doing that. But it looks cool. So then for PS3, there's Abyss Odyssey. I'm gonna assume that it's like similar to Temple of Osiris, but I don't know why, but I just want to say that. And then there's WRC, which is
World Racing Challenge Championship or something like that.
Yeah, it's like go-kart racing, but for adults.
Yeah.
You know, pretty much. And it's the 5th one. And then for the Vita, there's Neon Chrome, which I want to say is kind of like a music time-based thing.
And it is also a cross-platform for the PS4, so you can play it on PS4.
As well as Spy Chameleon, which is like you're this dude, it's above you, and you have to go through the cameras. Like there's cameras, and you have to like you hide behind objects and stuff to get by and get through from point A to point B. It does look really neat. The visuals look fantastic. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for that stuff. Like I said, I want to be able to cover this stuff as a group Because I think if we could each cover like one of these, we could cover all these games and say, hey, you know,
I played this. Yeah,
played it. It's worth the money, even if you don't have the service. Which I'm pretty sure everybody has the services by now, except for me because I'm a cheapo. So, but I mean, even then, I don't like to call them free because I don't feel they're free because they're not.
Yeah, you're paying
because you have to pay for the service to get.
And you got to keep the service to keep the games.
For PlayStation, at least. For Xbox, you don't have to keep it. You can, if you just want it for that month. And they do it every 2 weeks too. Yeah. So it's like there's new games every 2 weeks.
And there's a lot of backwards compatibility there too.
Yeah. So, by the way, I love Assassin's Creed 3. So I think it's definitely worth it. If you don't have it, I think it's worth it, you know? So anyways, I don't know. So yeah, you ready?
Ready let's get started into the comics.
Like I said, we're doing it in the computer room now. So you
Give us feedback on how
you don't know the ordering. This room looks, I think it looks awful right now because we have like the TV thing back there and it looks like trash and stuff. We're just keeping the box because we're paranoid. But anyways, yeah, let's get into these books. I'm going to start with Darth Vader, number 1. It's
written by Charles Soule. Whatever, it's Soul, yeah. Pencils by Gipsy. It's on the back page, man.
I was like, where is it? They keep on doing this damn thing to me. It's pissing me off.
It's like the it's on the last page of the actual comic.
Of the actual comic. Okay.
The second part's the second part.
Giuseppe Camuncoli.
Yes. Cam Smith did the inks and David Carrill did the colors. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh God. So much editing in the audio must be done. All right.
You're just going to put a beat there?
This one's taking place
right after episode 3. I mean, literally at the end where he's like, no.
It is actually at that part where he's like, no. And it's funny because I don't remember this in the movie.
He gets so pissed.
This doesn't happen in the movie, but in the comic, he actually hits the Emperor with the Force, and he like hits the wall, and the Emperor's like, "You will never ever do that to me ever again, or I will end your life."
Yep.
He hits him with the lightning and everything. It's freaking awesome.
And he's like, "Defend yourself. Where's your lightsaber?" He goes, "Oh, I lost it in Obi-Wan." He's like, "No."
He's like,
"That was a Jedi's lightsaber. Where's your lightsaber?"
Yeah, the Sith have red lightsabers, and he's like, He's like, "What is the difference between a Jedi lightsaber and a Sith lightsaber?" And he's like, "There is none, but the kyber crystal is alive, and you can make it bleed, and that's what makes it go red. So you have to make one bleed." And I'm like,
lore building,
so cool,
lore building.
Yes, that's freaking awesome. So it's like you have to go through your own like quest, like the Jedi have to get their own crystal like that resonates with them, and then they have to make their own lightsaber, which you could potentially, it could explode and you could die in the process if you don't do it right.
Yeah.
And so this one, you have to do a similar thing, but of course it's dark and evil. He has to go find a Jedi.
Ship. He's got to find his ship first.
Well, he goes and his ship's gone, and he's like, "Oh, go find your own ship." And some people have stolen it, so he deals with them. And it's awesome because you're just seeing Vader with the Force. He's just using the Force to face these guys. And he's destroying them, and it's freaking awesome. And so, yeah.
It's a great issue. Then afterwards, you have the No Good Deed by Chris Eliopoulos. Say it.
Eliopoulos?
Yeah.
Elopoulos? I don't know.
Jordy
Belair as the colorist. So it's a cartoon, and it's about Vader, how these people constantly disappoint him, and so he kills them. But there's this little mouse droid that doesn't disappoint him, and then finally it bumps into him, and he gets pissed and kills it. And it's a cartoon. And why Marvel keeps on doing this to us, where they keep on forcing us to pay an extra $1
for something we really don't want to see.
Like this one, I probably liked the most out of all of them that they forced on us. But at the same time, I'm still like, it's not needed.
It's like, why don't you just put this in a freaking compendium and be done with it? Say, oh, this is all the little shorts that we would have released in the last 2 years.
Well, if
boom,
or if it was just free, like it wasn't. If it wasn't an extra $1,
yeah. I mean, I know you're paying for paper and stuff, but still,
fine. You're paying an extra $1, fine, whatever. Okay, that's fine.
But man,
nope. They keep on doing this, and like I said, even though it's the one that I've liked the most, it still bugs me.
This issue is amazing. This is a great start.
Some of the art kind of bugged me because it looked a little off.
The
and even like I don't know, there's just certain I don't know. I liked where it went, but there's certain points where I was just like, I don't know, like even him like hitting hitting Palpatine with the fork. I don't know. It was kind of cool and it was kind of like cheese. I don't know. I feel conflicted about it, but. I like the direction it's going and just like him on this path because I've been wanting to see this type of thing how he went from that point to the Vader that we see
in Rogue One.
Rogue One now, yeah. or even the other, or
even Rebels.
Even the comics, yeah, that too. So, yeah. What do you give it?
It's a strong buy, it's a contender, it's in a great book. I loved it. The story was amazing. If this keeps going, this will be a regular thing. So
I'm gonna give it a strong buy, not quite a contender. Like there's something there that's just, and then especially with this extra stuff at the end that they make us pay for. But you get to have the spoils because we give away all the digital codes. And here's the one for this one: A for Arkillo, R for Richter, K for Kill, 541, X for X-Ray, W for Wesker, P for Pietro, V for Victor, Z for Zarbon, M for Mankey.
Next up, we have another #1 issue, Iceman #1. And it's written by Sina Grace. Alessandro Vitti is the artist. Rachel Rosenberg is the colorist. And Joe Sambino is the letterer. Yeah.
Okay, so I actually thought that this comic was going to be about Young Man.
And it's about both.
Young
to a degree.
Iceman. Well, this episode or this issue, yes, it does follow both, but after a certain point, it just carries on with
older Robbie.
The original
Robert Drake. Let's just call him Robert.
Bobby Drake, the one that's been calling this whole time. You see him with his family. His dad had like something similar to a heart attack. Yeah. He goes to check him out, and he's like, "Oh, you missed your mom's birthday," and he's like, "Oh, sorry, I was kind of like saving the world and stuff, but you're welcome." And he's like, "Yeah, whatever." And then of course, like a purifier shows up and attacks a mutant girl, and that's awesome when he went like all
Omega level,
all buff, Like he looks freaking awesome, and he fights this dude. I was surprised by like how long this fight took, but at the same time, I was like, I don't think it actually took that long. It was just like a lot of pages that it took. It wasn't
a lot of visuals.
Yeah, but it was awesome, and it was just you see like his real life and stuff, and he even talks to this girl how she's like she can make like icicles or like a weapon out of her spit. And so he's like, hey, I started off throwing like slushies and snowballs. So, just work at it and stuff. I'm surprised he didn't try to like recruit her for
the X-Men or
for the school for gifted youngsters.
Generation
and so
X.
he just goes off and does his own thing. And because even then he's talking about like how he's like, my dad's so hardcore and old school. Like, how am I going to tell him that like, he already doesn't like that I'm a mutant and how I am. Like, how much more is he going to dislike me if I bring home a guy for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Because even his mom was like, what happened with this girl? And what about this girl? And what about this girl?
Didn't work
Polaris and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So,
it's a pretty good issue.
I like it. I like Bobby. I've always liked Bobby. So for me, it's
character development.
A given, and it is character development. I really like this character work. I kind of hope they do like a back and forth or like a little bit of both in each one though. Like maybe next one we focus more on the younger one and then, just a little bit on this one. So, but I really like it, man. It's just, like you said, it's great character development. You see him like step his powers up, in small ways, but he still does it,
Yeah.
Like of course he didn't have to overdo it, because it's like, hey, they're in a hospital and It's just one dude. So yeah, I thought it was solid. I give it a strong buy. Like I said, I'm a little. I feel like I'm biased because I've always liked Iceman. So I'm gonna give it a strong buy. What about you?
I'm gonna give a strong buy and a contender because again, I enjoyed this issue. Great storytelling, great character development.
Looks great too.
I mean, there's no complaints here. This reminds me of the '90s Spider-Man style. It's just the way it was drawn. It's just, I love this issue. It's great
for sure.
Buy it.
Digital code.
So we have the digital code for it. F for Familio, C for Carlos, M for Marcos, G for Geraldo, E for Eduardo, F for Franco, 7, A for, I don't know. I didn't run out of Spanish words off the top of
Alamos.
There you go, Alamos. I for Ignacio, J for Julio, and V for Victor.
All right, cool. Next, it's on to Black Bolt number 2. We have writer Saladin Ahmed, artist and cover art Christian Ward. It's just me?
Yep, just you, buddy.
Just me. Oh, you missed out. I don't know. This one didn't. It's different from the first issue, but it's still in the same vein. A lot more colors here and stuff. So he wakes and he's like, I've been killed like multiple times. And the person, that guy was just like, kill him and bring him back, kill him and bring him back. And then there's this one girl and she has like this alien girl. She has all kinds of eyes and she's talking to him and stuff. And then Crusher Creel is there and then this other guy and they're like, hey, we're here to recruit you. We want you to help us break out. And they're like, and then this one guy shows up and he's a prisoner, but he does stuff for, the master or whatever and stuff. And so he ends up getting him to fight this other guy, gets him to fight this scroll, and it's the lady and stuff. And they're like trying to give her the order to execute her because he won and stuff, but he won't follow and stuff. And they're like, okay, that was just a test, it's like to see if you follow orders or whatever, or just do what you're told and stuff, or like do whatever serves you, to help and stuff. And then so they're like, all right, that was just a test for you to help us break out. And then boom, it starts their breakout. So
okay,
it's awesome. It's going really. It's freaking.
It looks great. Like the art style is different from the previous issue.
Slightly, it's slightly different. It's not too different. Like I said, it's more colorful. It does look a little bit different, but not too much. Like I said, same vein. So I think it's going great. It's definitely an ad. I'm gonna keep on reading this, and I think it's a strong buy. Yeah. Here's a digital code. F for Familia, C for Carlos, and for Marcos 4-5, C for Carlos, and for Novela 8, D for Diego, R for Rigoberto, and Z for Zorro.
Alrighty. Dang, you picked up more stuff than I did this week.
All new Guardians of the Galaxy number 3. Writer is Gary Dugan. Artist Fraser Irving. So I actually skimmed this because I wasn't sure if I was going to get it or not.
Okay.
And I skimmed through the art and I was like, I love this artist. He's really top notch. But it's really just a story that's all about Gamora and like her inner demons So, alrighty, we're back. I don't know where it left off, but we're back, and that's it. Not that it matters because we don't have any viewers ever, but we still get views on Facebook.
I was viewing.
All right, resume that. All right, so I was about to give my grade for
Guardians of the Galaxy
all
number
new
3.
Guardians of the Galaxy number 3. I think it's a strong buy, just because like you don't have to read previous stuff. You don't have to read what's next. So if you want to get it as a one shot, you like Gamora, do it, get it. It looks, like I said, it looks amazing. This artist should be in a gallery. I'm sure he has art in galleries because it just looks absolutely amazing,
Fraser Irving,
and brilliant. So yeah, so strong buy. And yeah, so digital code. F for family, Z for Zarbon, M for Mankey, A for Alvin, 0, V for Vegeta, I for Icarus, F for family, Z for Zarbon, U for Ultron, Z for Zarbon, I for Icarus.
All right. And then you got Iron Fist number 4. I actually skimmed this book, but I didn't really read it, so I'll throw in what I can.
Okay, cool. Ed Brisson is the writer, Mike Perkins artist, Andy Troy color artist.
Trial of the Seven Masters Part 4.
All right, there we go. Yeah, so this one, they're like, oh, we should just take him out and stuff. We should just take out Danny Rand. There was this one guy that helped him because they killed his guide and stuff because they were actually trying to take him out. And they're like putting the death on him. They're like, oh, he killed his own guide and stuff, and he's too dangerous and everything like that. And but the dude that's like helping him recuperate, he's actually his next opponent, which is he's like the rabbit or something like that. And he has these metal legs. That's why he kind of looks like a rabbit and stuff. And so he fights him, and then he takes his chi. But the thing is like they talk about like the chi is temporary. It's not permanent. And that's something they didn't tell him. And then they actually send like 2 guys after him at once. And he's like, hey, this is against the rules. And it's like this one hairy dude, the mountain slaying bear, and the long-armed bull. And so he takes them both on and fights them. It's a lot more of the same, but the story's changing a little bit. Like you're finding out like of more of like, hey dude, like you messed up. Like you just need to go back to Kunlun and just do your thing, like the Iron Fist thing, and just stay there, because they're trying to take over that and everything. So yeah, it's really interesting. It's getting more interesting as it goes on. Like I said, it's the same stuff. So it's the same stuff I like, with like him doing the different attacks and like they name them and stuff, and you see him do it and stuff. It's pretty cool. Kind of reminds me of like anime too. Like, I mean, I know that like he's not saying it while he's doing it, but like in a lot of anime, like they'll do that, like they'll say their attack like before they do it or while they're doing it,
Jitsu.
Yeah. So like, or even like, what was it?
Dragon Ball as well.
Yeah. So, it was enjoyable. I liked it. Like I said, it's getting more interesting. It looks great, so I'm going to continue giving it a strong buy.
Excellent.
And here's the digital code. F for Familia, C for Carlos, M for Marcos, T for Tomas, M for Familia, 0, T for Tomas, 3, P for Pablito, 4, V for Villanueva, D for Diego.
Next up, we have X-Men Gold numero 5. Written by Mark Guggenheim, penciler by R.B. Silva, Adriano Di Benedetto.
Benedetto.
Yeah, that is the art inker, and the artist is, the colorist is Frank Martin.
Yes. So this one, like
we had Gambit messing up last time.
Yeah, there's this nanite sentinel, and Remy's like falling to his death. Storm comes and saves him, and then they're like
the elf goes bamf.
Yeah, they deal with the situation. It's kind of.
And this is Phoenix, right?
Huh?
This is Rachel Summers, right?
This is Rachel Summers.
Okay.
Prestige, she goes by now.
Oh, okay.
man, like I just love the way this goes. Like everybody sounds right. Like, you know, Kitty, like her, like the way that everybody looks as well as the way they sound, like their dialogue, I hear it, you know, in my head, and it just sounds freaking perfect. It's crazy. Like Kitty actually attacks this thing, disperses the nanites, but it's learning.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, that's not going to work again because they try it.
Now, here's the thing. In the 90s, there was a robot Wolverine villain called Shiva that did this exact same thing. You cannot kill it twice. That thing was laced with adamantium. So I see how they're borrowing stuff, but it's kind of the same old thing, you know?
Maybe. I mean, if you've read that, yeah. This one, it starts targeting not just mutants, like it's sending out nanites.
Any sort of mutation.
But any mutation in humanity, you know?
Cancer.
Anybody that has mutation. And it's crazy. It's like attacking, and it kind of looks like Doc Ock, you know, because it has like these tentacles that it's using. It's really hardcore. But Rachel's using her powers on it too because it's sentient, it's alive. Yeah. So
it has sonic.
But I'm loving it. Like I'm loving every moment of it, every panel, everything looks perfect. Like this is what I wanted out of an X-Men, and I'm so glad to be back in it, and it works perfectly.
So Marvel, thank you for changing the artist, even though it was for a weird reason that was, you know, subliminal. Thank you. It paid off. It paid off a lot.
Yeah, it's a strong buy and a contender without a doubt. So, digital code?
Digital code for this issue. F for Fabian. Z for, I can't think of an X-Men starting with Z. Zeratos. M for Maggot. B for Beast. X for Xavier. G for
Gambit?
Yeah, Gambit. That'll work fine. W for
Wanda.
Well, yeah, Wanda Maximoff. Q for Queen. I can't think of any Qs. I for Iceman. V for
Victor.
That's the only thing I can think of is Victor. A for
Avalanche.
Avalanche. And Zero. Sorry, thank you. I'm having bad CRS moments today.
It's okay. We're a team. It's a team effort now. Did you get Wasp? Unstoppable Wasp?
I did not, and I should have.
Number 6. It's the writer is Jeremy Whitley, artist Elsa Charretier, color artist Megan M. Wilson. And so this one, like, she's about to give herself up. She's like, all right, you know, I'm going to go give myself up. Just give me the word if you guys get, you know, something different. And it's funny how Matt Murdock is there, but he's not helping, you know, like
he's a lawyer, but
he's a lawyer. And so like, he's also Daredevil, but it's like, he's not really helping at all. But these girls that come up with an idea, they're like, oh, what about Vision? They're like, oh, we're going to use Vision's technology of like how he changes, like how, you know, he can go through you, but like he could put his density, he could put like his hand in your chest, like solidify it in there. And it's like, we're going to do a similar thing to take out the bomb that's in her head. They're like, how do we do that? And they're like, oh, okay, well, there's how his stuff is made. And they're like his synthetic, organic skin and stuff. They're like, we're going to use that, you know, with some tech and stuff. So they find that, they do that. And it's funny. It's a good time. And you know, all the while she's going to turn herself in. And she's like, oh, I had a backup plan, actually. And so she attacks this lady. Daredevil does show up for a little part because the evil lady, she sends a team to go take out those kids, and so that's when he helps. He stops the team that's going to take out the little girls. But and at the end, like her friend passes out. So it's like, dang, you know, hopefully something bad's not going to happen. This is another one that I heard they're going to cancel. This doesn't seem like it seems like it might be the end to a arc, but it's not completely resolved, obviously, because her friend just like collapsed. So it's like, well, I don't know if it's going to be the end or not, you know, of this, like this is the end of this series or not. It's been really good.
I've caught it here and there. It's been pretty good since I read it.
Yeah, it's been pretty much strong buys the whole way through, as it continues to be. This was really awesome. I liked it a lot. strong buy, and I would even say it's a contender. So here's your digital code. F for Famicom, Z for Zamboni, M for Mankey, 3, U for Uniform, 1, D for Dank, Y for Yank, Q for Quill, G for Guano, M for Mankey, H for Hotel. Alrighty, now it's Reborn issue number 6, and I'm really glad I got this issue because this is actually the end of this series. I think it's just the end of this series.
Oh, okay.
So it's Mark Millar is the writer, Greg Capullo is the penciler, Jonathan Galapian is the inker, FCO Placencia is colorist, and so, oh man, this pisses me off so much. Like, okay, so it goes back to like the real world of like who this evil dude is. And he's this guy that did 28 in a row sniper killings, and then he killed himself because he knew he was going to get caught. Nothing pisses me off more than these guys that like do killings and then kill themselves. It's like, just start with that, you know? Like, start with that and like save all the, you know, all the problems. So anyways, like, and so then it shows him and like he's this giant demonic dude now and stuff. And even this girl, they're like, you know, was really good in the previous life and stuff. And so they're like, oh, are you sure you can handle this? And she's like, yeah, I got this. They also meet this lady that's like the queen of the fairies really quick before they go there. And I was like, okay, why did they throw that random part in there? And so she just walks in there and there's this like chimera thing attacks them and stuff, and that's dealt with. And so they have like this all-out battle with this thing and stuff. And she actually, it's weird, like she dies, but she doesn't die, but she's revived in her previous body in like the real world. So for a moment she comes back and like dies in the other world, and then she's like, oh, I've come to peace with dying. And she lets herself die so that she can, you know, come back in the other world, and so that she can finish and take care of this evil dude. And that's what she does, and that's what happens, and that's it. And I was like, that was like kind of anticlimactic. Like, I thought she was like, especially like her husband, because her husband went off and did his, like, went back to his new family and stuff, and the dad's like, I thought it was going to be like, she's going to kill him. Like, she's finally going to do something evil, you know? Like, finally, she's going to take him out. And I was like, this is going to be awesome. Like, she's going to be the new evil ruler. Like, everyone thought she was going to be the great new, you know, savior. And she's going to be, like, the new evil person. I was like, no, didn't do it. Like, so it was just very cut and clear, pretty basic. And now she's, like, the ruler of this world. And I don't, like, they could continue it, but the way that, I don't know, it was just, it's just something that felt like it was going to take a long time to build up to and actually get to and do, and it didn't live up to it. You know, it did not live up to the hype at all. And I was like, that was a letdown. That was a bummer. Like, yeah. It looks great and stuff, but
it's pretty.
It's one of those things though where it's like it was a great ride, but because of the ending, it made it not as good. So you know what I mean? So it's like, was it still good like the whole way? You know? Yeah, the whole way it was good, but this issue disappointed with it, so I can't. So like, I'll give it a buy. And it's time for a commercial break. So let's talk about our sponsor, Age of Comics. They are located off of Osuna and San Mateo in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yes.
So check them out. They're hardcore about comics. Like, they are the most hardcore about comics. Like, you know, they'll clean and press comics for you.
They get them graded.
They can get them graded for you too. Like, send them out for you to get graded. They actually have a website now because they have so many like classic issues, like first appearances and like you know, and number ones and stuff like that, and special covers. So if you want those, go to their website. So anybody can go to their website and get those and stuff, not just like if you're in town.
Thank you.
So, and that's something, they always take that stuff to the conventions. So that's another place. Like, if you know, don't go to the comic book shop, you can wait for a convention, I guess. Santa Fe Comic Con is the next one. October. I need to hit them up too. So we can make sure to secure our interviews with JDF and
Hey to the little J.
Yeah. So yeah, they also have Funko Pops. They have tons of Funko Pops. They always and if you want to trade some in there too, I've seen a lot of people trade stuff in, like especially rare Funko Pops over there and stuff, and just rare figurines because they have like a lot of 90s figurines. I really want to finish collecting my Build-A-Figure for, I want to say I think it's MODOK, but I'm not sure. It might be the Sentinel because it's like Nightcrawler, Bullseye. It's like a certain series, when they did the Build-A-Figure, which they still do that, but they're not as big and everything like that, unfortunately. But people really love those series where you got to build those figures, and they're
Legends,
big.
Yeah,
they're big. Like I've heard the MODOK and there's just Sentinel, all the different ones.
The Apocalypse. I think the Onslaught as well.
Yeah, there's quite a few that are like they're the huge ones, and people really dig them. That's why I got to get into those and finish collecting those. My only problem is that I want to build it, but I don't take them out. Yeah. So it's like I will eventually. Like I said, when I have kids, I'll bust out all the toys, and then we'll build it, and then I'll have like the whole group fight against the giant Sentinel or the giant Galactus or whatever, So yeah, and then just all kinds of nostalgia stuff from young days. Like they have G.I. Joe, they have all kinds of old school stuff. Oh, yeah. So like check them out. They have all kinds of graphic novels. And they get them quick, dude. I ordered I feel like almost 10 graphic novels, and I got them within a couple weeks.
Nice.
And so I just had this stack of graphic novels, and I've slowly been picking away at it over time. And I need to post those reviews.
Yes.
Man, I need more time. I need a hyperbolic time chamber.
Either that or you need a clone.
That too. If I can make multiples of myself,
Still did the whole cloning of a clone. No.
Yeah, that's a mess. So, but yeah, so make sure you check them out. Like I said, go check out their website, Age of Comics. I don't know. It's weird though. It's not ageofcomics.com. I think it's ageofcomics.store or something like that. And that's why people couldn't find it. But follow them on Facebook. You'll find all that information there. They also do a weekly video of what's new coming out Wednesday. And they also do giveaways too. Like Marvel will send them free tickets for movies. Cool. So if there's a Marvel movie coming out, they get hooked up and they give them away. So follow them for that because they do that giveaway on the website, and then or not on the website, but on the Facebook, and then you have to go pick it up at the store. So yeah. Let's get back to some comics, huh?
Yeah. We got the last issue of Nova for this run, Nova number 7. It is written by Jeff Loveness and Ramon Perez. Artist is Scott Hepburn and Ramon Perez. Ian Herring did the color artist. And Albert Deshninsky's
Sure. Deshninsky. I'm going to say Deshninsky, but
is the letter. Yeah.
So, yeah, this one, Alex, he finds a way. Right?
Yeah, he finds a way to get back into the
Cancerverse, and like this thing is taken over Dick Ryder, and so he's like, "Hey, we need to fix this," or he's like, "Hey, keep on fighting," because that's what he told me. Yeah. He's like, "We're Novas, we're not allowed to give up.
Goonies never say die."
And so he pulls the cancer out of him. It's pretty insane.
He just pulls it right out. It's kind of disgusting.
And it's the world mind or whatever. They're talking to it and stuff, how it became corrupted, and they're trying to make it better. And then they find the cosmic cube, and they're like, "Oh, I don't have enough power to power it." And he's like,
"We both do."
Yeah, especially because you remember he has the black helmet, and those are unlimited power essentially. Yeah. So he could do it on his own probably, but they do it together, and they get back. So it's a nice ending. I really like the grandma at the end.
It's Demino.
Yeah. Wow. She whacks Richard.
But with a hoe.
And then just like they have like this montage thing at the end, that's really great. And it's a great ending. It's sad to see it go. I'm sure it'll be. I feel like it's gonna be rebooted though.
I hope so.
It was done really well. I want to see more.
Consistently, this is a great book.
Yeah, it was. And so I don't know why it was. I think this book keeps on getting canceled because people don't. Well, it's Nova for one. I don't think Nova Corps is really the most popular book out there anyways. Like, it never has been, even when it was like the Galaxy stuff. A dog sniffing under the door. But but anyways, like, and then on top of that, you have Sam Alexander has been the new, like, the only Nova for a while. And a lot of people don't like him because they're like, oh, I love Dick. I love Dick Ryder. I just want Dick Ryder, you know? And so I think that's been part of the problem with that, as well as, like, he still hasn't found his dad or whatever either. So, like, that's been another thing. It's like, just get to it already.
Just get to a quest, man. But we got to take care of the Secret Empire crap first. Because
that's what it is there's a lot of it's always the events that ruin a good series. And that's the thing, is a series can be going so great on its own, it'll get sidelined or sidetracked because of that. And then, like, by the time they get back to it, it's like you don't remember. Like, it just ruins it. It really ruins it. Like, that's why I like Marvel keeps on blaming its readers because they're like, oh, you guys don't like diversity. And it's like, no, we don't like your damn events. Every, like, 2 weeks is what we don't like. So stop doing it because it ruins our books because you can't have.
Nova can't be on Earth stuck in a force field while he's out in wherever or in the galaxy, nowhere, looking for his dad.
Exactly. Like, it ruins it. But it's also one of those things that's like, if anybody's obsessed with continuity, it's Marvel fans, and you're ruining continuity by doing this stuff constantly. And so, yeah, it's horrible. Strong buy, contender. Get it. It's only 7 issues, so if they put out a compendium, get it. If they put out a graphic novel or 2 graphic novels, get it. It's a strong buy. It's definitely worth it. The whole thing was really solid.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
So, digital code?
Digital code 61, Y for Yankee, 6, D for Delgado, 2, E for Elvish, L for Lee, V for Valerie, Z for Zed, 5-3. Just forgot whatever.
Right on. On to Avengers number 8. Did you get Avengers number 8?
Yes, I did.
Whoa. Okay, Mark Waid and Jeremy Whitley as writers. Artist Phil Noto. And that's it.
Because we had just finished up the King War.
Yes, we did. But now we have Avenger X, and she's come out of her tomb.
Which that ties into the Avengers stuff that we were reading.
The prequel stuff, or the points, where they were doing the point issues, and it was the
Avenger X.
It was the old Avengers. And so she comes out. I don't know how she's alive. She must be like some godlike entity. And so she comes out, she plays I was captured under their vision right away, though, is like, no, she's evil. He knows the history somehow, some database. And so she starts attacking all of them, taking their powers, Hercules' powers first, and everything like that. It's cool, though, because like the issue starts with Wasp, and she's calling for Victor Von Doom's help. And then it goes into the story and everything like that. And so it's just great how she's stealing all their powers, Spider-Man's, everyone's and stuff, and how they're fighting them, and how she's literally about to take out Wasp, and then Victor Von Doom shows up, and he just like messes her up. I mean, it's still a pretty good fight. Oh yeah. What's her name? Yeah, Wasp takes her to the microverse. So she's not dead. She's just in the microverse. So there's a possibility that this could come back at some point. And I love stuff like this, where you go, we're not going to kill them, but we're going to deal with them so that we could use them later. I've always loved that comic use, instead of killing them, have a way where it's almost like killing them, but they could still be alive, and there's a way it can come back. I thought it was great. It worked out really well. It looks phenomenal. I really like how they're incorporating Victor as Iron Man into this. It's
great. I love this direction that they're trying to go into.
I give it a strong buy. I give it a contender.
I do as well.
It was phenomenal.
It's great.
Now the digital codes are kind of messed up on this, but I'm gonna try to read them off. I think it's an F because it's like when I ripped it off, it's like half on, half off, so it's hard to decipher. So I think it's an F, then C, M for Mankey, G for George, S for Saiyan, W for Wolverine, V for Vegeta, 5, R for Richter, Z for Zarbon, R for Richter at 8.
Next up, we got Champions.
Marvel's Champions.
Yeah, Marvel's Champions. What number is it? Is
number 9.
Written by Mark Wade. Humberto Ramos is the penciler. Victor Alazaba is the inker, and Edgar Delgado is the colorist.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got it right.
So this one, they're like hanging out, and they're talking about like their kid memories, and she's talking about like, oh, well, I didn't, like, her life has been pretty crappy.
Yeah.
And stuff. And then it just goes to like a random story where she's going to San Diego and stuff, and it's really great. Like, there's this great moment where she's with a driver, a cabbie, and, you know, he's wearing a turban, and she's like, oh, sorry for my appearance. I just didn't think it would be smart to walk through, you know, to go in an airport as an android.
Yeah.
And he's like, I completely understand. And I was like, oh, man, that's just great writing. Then someone destroys his cab, and it's this girl that's like it's her first outing as a superhero, and she's catching this runaway, and they find out like it's this big like cartel type thing, you know, where they have like all these runaways used for their labor and stuff, and so Viv helps, and then they end up hanging out, and she's like, who's the Red Locust? What is that from? And it's like Aztecs type stuff. You know, she gives the history, like how she made this armor. And then she's talking about her memories, and she's like, oh, yeah, this reminds me of my dad. And she's like, you know what? I feel like spending time with my dad.
Oh, yeah. And then she goes back to the cabbie.
Oh, yeah. The girl that destroyed it, she's like, oh, here's this money to fix your cab. I hope it covers it. And he was like, okay. And then she's like, oh, any money, leftover money, give it to, like, donate it to, like, homeless or runaways or something like that. So... yeah, it was great. It was a great issue. Like, it wasn't really a fully. It was more like it was a Viv issue, and it looks like they're bringing in this girl too, which I was kind of like, I didn't care, but then I was like, you know what? She's a Latina, and we need more. We need more representation. So I don't care if she's called Red Locust and everything. Besides, it's tied into like Aztec stuff, so I like it. Like. Huh?
And it's a Blue Beetle ripoff.
Kind of a Blue Beetle ripoff, sort of. I mean,
it's Red Locust.
She made it herself.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, in the original Beetle, he made his own suit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a combination, it seems like. So, yeah, I'm totally for it. Like I said, I still give it a strong buy and a contender.
And next up, I'll give it a strong buy contender as well. But next up, we have its tie-in with Secret Empire.
So I might just skip it altogether. Except I probably already have it pre-ordered just because it's a great series.
E for Echo, 8. C for Carlos. V for Victor. U for Umbrella. M for Marcos, 9. Z for that's a 2 actually. P for Papa, 2. W for Water, and Q for Quintana.
Quintuplets.
Yeah, quintuplets.
No. All right, I got Cyborg number 13.
Yes, you did.
Danger in Detroit. It's John Semper Jr. as a writer, Alan Jefferson on pencils, Tony Cordos on inks, Guy Major as colorist. And so it's freaking great because it has this girl, and she's like, you know, she's the head of the R&D for this business in Detroit. And she's like, I think that we should do something selfless with this technology. And all the board's like, no. And she was like, that's exactly what I planned. Now they're going to keep it closer to them. So now that I can secretly use it to do superhero stuff with this technology, and they won't know the wiser. And then Cyborg is like meeting in this like cyber world or AI world with his, you know, his previous girlfriend friend that's working at the lab and stuff. They get attacked, and they think it's an attack from Anomaly. It's an attack by Firewire. And then that girl finds out that she became a hero because Firewire actually killed her husband and stuff. So she's helping Cyborg with that. And then they thought that Firewire was there because of Anomaly, but he actually wasn't. So there's actually another thing. And so there's kind of like a mole, but like not a on purpose mole. You know, like information was fed to the girl that is his friend so that they would think there's a time to go in, and it wasn't. So, and then it just goes into craziness. I can't wait to read the next issue. It's going to be freaking awesome. It's freaking crazy. I really feel like this book is so well written that it's a book that it helps if you've read previous stuff, but you could just jump on whatever, you know, like each issue catches you up on previous stuff enough, and it feels new enough so that you don't have to like get any of the previous issues, or, you know, if you don't want to, you don't have to continue reading. But it's not like one of those things where it's a great one shot, because it's not, but it's just so well done.
Okay.
They're really great at, you can jump on at any point. So I give it a strong buy. So, and a contender because of that. Here's a digital code. We have Detective, D for Detective, C for Comics, 717, F for
Famicom.
Sure. M for Marvel, C for Captain, V for Ven, I don't know, Q for Quasar, Z for Zoltan, D for Dave, and X for X-Ray.
Dave's not here.
No, not right now.
Next up, we have Spider-Man, number 17.
Yes.
And this is B&B. Brian Michael Bendis is the writer. Oscar
Bazaldua
is the artist. And Justino Ponzer is the color artist.
All right. So, yeah, this one actually has Bombshell.
Yeah. She's all making a blog or videotaping herself. You know,
yeah.
Fangirling out.
Some live streaming.
Fangirling out.
And then she jumps down and she goes and she attacks Hammerhead. And then she gets her butt whooped.
Oh, yeah.
And she ends up in the hospital. And it's funny because he's like, I don't want to fight you, girl. You know, but
don't care.
You forced my hand. And, yeah, so... and then, you know, Miles is just being in the dumps about like, yeah, I got this darkness. And, you know, Fabian is like, yeah, dude, you know, like you got to be tougher and stuff. Well, he finds out that Hammerhead messed up Bombshell. Yeah. So he goes after him and messes him up. But he's not as rough and tough as he thinks because he lets his guard down and then Hammerhead messes him up. The thing, too, that I notice is that he keeps on hitting him in the head. And it's like he has an adamantium head. So, like, you're
hit him in the stomach.
Hit him anywhere else, and you're fine. And you're not hurting him, really. And then, you know, his mom comes to visit him, and she misses him. Yeah. So, yeah, he's in a bad way. It's freaking awesome. It's great. Can't wait to read more. I feel like it's a good jumping on point.
He's got this venom sting, though, man. Why don't you just done?
Yeah, that's true. He does. We need to see more of the venom sting. But it's the story and the way it's going. Like, he should still use it in the fight, but I'm just saying, like, I know that that's one of the reasons. So, yeah. I give it a strong buy. I give it a contender. I love it. It's great.
It is great. It's a good art, a good jumping on point. I mean, this is where you can start up and get this issue and start out the series if you haven't caught it already. It's a great thing to do. Here's the digital code for you. D for Doctor, L for Lizard, 23, U for Umbrella, 20, M for crap, I'm thinking of this. Miles. K for Craven, S for Spider-Man, R for Rhino, and the number 2. Yeah.
Spot on.
Yes.
So I'm going to be honest, I have not read the rest of these books. So it's all you, senor.
I only read Hit and Miss, so we'll see what we had because I skimmed a couple too.
We have Nightwing number 22. It's $2.99. Same creative team. Tim Seeley is writer. Well, I don't know about artists. Miguel Mendonca pencils. Vicente Cifuentes on inks. Chris Otomayor on colors. I mean, I did read the very beginning, but that was it.
And it touts a whole thing with Blockbuster. So Dick's kind of going through. He goes into like a gymnasium. There's like a gang war going on. And he's just, well, he's being dick. You know?
It seems like a great jumping on point.
Oh yeah, it is
just
a great
from the beginning that I read.
And he's kind of undercover. And it's something long and convoluted. The what's this guy's name? Tiger Shark or King Shark or something.
Tiger Shark, yeah.
Yeah, he's like a mob boss, something like that. His chick's waiting for him at home, and she gets all nice and cozy, and she's like, "Yeah, I kind of fell asleep," and well, she gets her dose of dick, if you get what I'm saying.
How could you not?
And then Tiger Shark kind of feeds someone to the fishies. And then it kind of just goes back out and gets kind of blindsided by Blockbuster or Desmond. What was his name? Dr. Desmond. And it was kind of like a test.
Okay.
And that's about it.
It looks freaking awesome.
It's a good introduction. It's a good fight. I enjoyed the book. It's a strong buy. It's a contender. Again, I kind of skimmed through it, but I mean, that's about, all you really need to do. I mean, there's little nuances here and there, but
strong buy.
Strong buy.
Okay, contender.
I'll give it a contender.
Okay, awesome. I mean, I'll read the rest of it. If I have time, I'll do a written review, but I haven't had time, so.
Well, we have Batman.
Batman number 24.
Read this one. Oh yeah, this is the one. Okay, let's see if we can get the
credits.
Yeah, it should be towards the front page. Jordi Belair did the colors. That's the letters. Hold on. Tom King did the script. There we go. David Finch did the pencils. Inks are done by Danny Miki, and that's for certain pages. And Clay Mann and Seth Mann on other pages. And then Jordi Belair did colors as well. This issue, I'm going to just kind of summarize it. I'm going to walk you through it. They go through and talk to Gotham Girl, and it's Bruce kind of going, hey, if you want to be a superhero, be a superhero. If you don't want to be a superhero, don't be a superhero. She's like, okay, well, why are you the Batman? I'm the Batman because I'm Batman. That's his answer. He can't think of any other reason why he's Batman because he's Batman. There's no reason for it now. And he's struggling with the whole aftermath of the button.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, because his dad was like, don't
be
this.
Batman.
Yeah.
And then, he ends up meeting up with Catwoman. And they're so in sync and in tune. He's like, okay, well, remember when we first met, you were riding the boat. She's like, no, that's not what I know. You were robbing a boat and you were stealing a diamond, and I bought that diamond. And then he gets down on one knee and says that he is scared. And that's where I'm going to end it.
Strong buying contender.
That's all I got to say. I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Drop the mic.
I'm not going to spoil it for you.
Drop the mic.
I think that's a good stopping point.
Drop that mic. All right.
Did you pick up Hombre de Agua?
Hombre de Agua, yeah, number 24.
I think I was going to read that and didn't quite get a chance.
You didn't, which I read the previous issue, and I have to say, loved it. It was a strong buy and a contender for me. Like, I love that political stuff.
Yeah. And
it did bug me, though, that, like, he was like, I never understand why he's like, all right, screw you guys. I'm out. I'll go live my life then. Like, me and Mira will just go live our lives out in peace. I mean, he's still going to do his Justice League thing, but it's like, screw you guys. You don't want it. But when you guys show up to mess stuff up, I'm going to take you out. I want you to know that. Like, if you guys are banishing me to the surface, then I'm taking over the surface. But if you want me on your side, then here I am. But instead, I also love, too, how his resolve. He refuses to give up. And he's like, in past, they have fought against the kings, but that's what a king does, is he doesn't give up, and he takes over, and these are his people, and that's it. Like, I'm the rightful king, and that's it. And I was like, hell yeah, that's some resolve I want to see. That's the kind of resolve I want to see in Captain America that's not there. Anyways, sorry.
Well, that's debatable. The Captain America thing, they evidently...
I'm talking about Sam Wilson.
Oh, okay.
Because he did not have that Captain America resolve.
I heard your review. He was like, oh, I'm going to go and...
Boo-hoo. I'm tired of all this boo-hoo culture. Yeah. It's really annoying the crap out of me.
But, I mean...
Anyways, this is Dan Abnett writing, Scott Eaton and Philip Briones on pencils, then Wayne Foucher, Philip Briones, Scott Hanna on inks, Gabe Altaiba's colors. So, how does it go?
I mean, I didn't quite read it. Well,
in that case, I will be doing a written review. And, yeah, cool.
I wanted to read it as well because it looked fantastic from the first couple of pages. Very political based, you know.
What about Green Arrow number 24?
Sure. I did not catch that either.
No, then I'll be doing a written review of that too. Green Lanterns.
That I did 24. Catch. Oh,
okay.
Man. Dude.
Sam Humphries writing, pencils Carlo Barberi, inks Matt Santorelli, colors Ulysses Ariola.
All right, so we have the training again. I mean, this is finishing up the training of Baz and Cruz. Of course, Baz going against Kyle Rayner. Kyle Rayner makes all these iterations of himself as Green Lanterns, and Baz has to think on his feet. So he creates a smoke screen and goes up behind Rayner and kind of pies him instead of punches him. So he's finished his training and whatnot. And then Guy Garner and Cruz, they kind of go at it, and we had them go fight a little bit, and then we go through to the the Vathum is his name, the
Volthum.
Yeah. He's doing research into the first 7 rings, and so we get a little bit of that. It goes to a Martian. And he finds out that Jessica has one of the rings. So
Jessica does.
Yes.
Oh wow.
So it's really cool on what happens in this comic. They complete their training, they graduate, and Hal gets them to do the oath. I mean, well, what more can you have in this issue?
What more can you want?
Yeah, I mean, and then they're like, okay, well, we're going to go to the Vault of Shadows, and Cruz and Baz are coming with me. So,
right on, cool.
Yeah, it's a great starting point. It's a great jumping on point for the next issue if you want to grab it. So, Strong Buy is a contender. Grab it.
Right on. Superman 24?
I think I caught this one.
Peter J. Tomasi and Patrick Gleason on story. Doug Mankey and Patrick Gleason on pencils. Jaime Mendoza, McRae, Joe Prado, and Doug Mankey on inks. Then Will Quintana, John Calise, Hi-Fi as colors.
No, I didn't pick up this one at all because it was about Manchester Black, and I have no knowledge of Manchester Black, and I didn't even like this art style. It seemed different from last time.
Well, it is different from last time, but I love this artist and this art team. It changes depending on what's going on, too.
I think I looked at the last page, whatnot, just to kind of spoil it for myself. We have Superboy Black, and that looks pretty cool.
All right, cool. I'll be doing a written review of this one, too, then. Cool?
Yep.
All right, awesome. That's it. It's time for it's Bebow and runner-up and Bebow time. We have this whole stack of books. I don't even know what is what. It's just all here.
These are my 2. These are totally my 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, makes total sense. Totes my goats.
So I guess I'll go first.
Are you sure it's not this one?
Well, that was good. I was good, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. Although the 2 number 1s were amazing. So first out, shout outs to the 2 number 1 issues, the Vader and the Iceman. Amazing comics. That's some great writing there. But again, you can't really judge a book by its cover, and this is the cover of it, the first issue. So it can be a back and bay, but I kind of want to give it to the stuff that deserves it. My runner-up is X-Men Gold, numero 5. A great story. I love the art. I love where it's going. However, it can be better. But again, it's a runner-up. It was strong. I like where it's going. And it's a good jumping on point if you want to go and get it. Because, yeah. My back and bag of the week is Nova number 7. The end of it, again, perfect run. Perfect run. This is amazing. I can't wait to buy the trade of it.
All right. I think I'm gonna go with the exact opposite though. I'm gonna go exact opposite. Nova is my runner-up. Like I said, it's so great. Even like I said, it goes back to that like the Hispanic stuff. You know, I love that. Like with the grandma speaking Spanish and she attacks Dick Ryder.
Give it up!
Yeah, it was just great. And it was a great end. Like it was It was really awesome and really cool. It's sad, like I said, it's sad to see it go. So it definitely deserves its praise. But yeah, man, I'm just loving X-Men, dude. X-Men Gold is gold. That's what it is.
Ever since issue 3.
Well, was it 3 or 4?
It was issue 3.
When we got the new artist, when we got RB Silva, which I thought it was just since 4.
Are you really?
I think. So, yeah, ever since we got RB Silva, it's just been freaking gold.
Amazing.
We have Remy. He's awesome. Like, the characterization is just so on point. This writer really knows his stuff. You can tell he knows these characters inside and out.
The artist knows his stuff.
Exactly, too. Like, he knows the way they look
of it
and everything like that. All of it, yeah, it just looks absolutely phenomenal. It kind of bugs me sometimes because sometimes Old Man Logan looks like Sabretooth, because they make him look too tall and the white makes him look blonde, so he looks like Sabretooth. But I didn't feel like that's not an issue in this. That's not an issue in this book. Like, man, the characterization for everybody is different. And that's the thing is, like, when you have characters that are, there's not huge deciphering things, like, other than visuals, and you just read it, you're like Kitty and Rachel Summers. And I go, like, you can still tell that they're different, you know, like, especially because, like, she's phases and stuff and has that. And then, Rachel has the psychic powers, just everything, like, characterization spot on. And I'm so glad to be back with X-Men because it seemed like it'd been a rough time for X-Men because it legitimately seemed like Marvel was doing this thing where...
Forget the Fantastic Four, forget X-Men. We don't own those rights and stuff. So we're going to just write them off and say to hell with them, and you can just buy...
Which they have still written off.
The Fantastic
Four. Now, they have Ben Grimm in the Doom, and then they have the Evil Ultimate Universe, Reed Richards, in the Doom book. But that's something different. And then when you separate Ben from them, that's a whole different situation too. Like him on his own is nothing.
Yeah.
And so right now they're still gone, and there really is no explanation. I mean, we know they're like, oh yeah, they're fixing the universes or whatever, right? That was their mission or whatever. That's what they were doing. Is they had gotten like his god, like Doom's god power, and was the Beyonder power or whatever, and was fixing all of them. Yep. So at some point, I think they'll get them back. Like when they get them back, they will get them back.
This fall, when the Legacy event happens, that's when we'll get our stuff. We'll get our Tony back. We'll get our Thor back. We'll get our Captain America back. We'll probably get our first family back.
So, and I'm hearing too that the Captain America that isn't Hydra is actually the ultimate Captain America.
That's what I'm hearing as well.
And so that it's not Steve Rogers, because there's another Steve Rogers that showed up, grizzled and everything like that, possibly from another dimension or something. So that was the actual Steve Rogers, and this Steve Rogers.
That's what I heard too.
Which they're like, oh, and that's why they're saying, oh, well, he was always Hydra. Oh, in the Ultimate Universe, he was always Hydra. Okay. All right. So you're making, but regardless, that doesn't make it good. That doesn't make it good. If you would have kind of revealed that sooner, right? You gave yourself an out, but if you would have revealed that sooner, it would have made it better, I think. That's part of it too. So, yeah, but they really do need to stop with the events, like especially the Secret Empire thing. Like nobody wanted it.
Nobody wanted Civil War 2.
Civil War 2. I think people wanted it, and then when they decided we're going to do something completely different from Civil War, and we're not going to have any infighting, barely.
Yeah.
Like they barely had it, like, because that's what you want from an event. You want, really, the events should only exist to, like, all the storylines, like the main storylines should lead up to an event where you have to have an event. You know what I mean? Like so all the plot lines are going this way, and DC, then you go, boom, they all fight.
DC is doing it great with this Rebirth.
They are doing really great.
We have the Superman family consolidating itself. We have the Flashes learning about things and uncovering things. The Bat family is getting strong. Arthur's getting an army in Atlantis, more or less. The Green Lantern Corps is becoming more unified. The Yellow Lantern Corps is becoming more unified. We are gearing up towards a big battle, which will be probably the Doomsday Clock event.
Yeah, something, because they're just doing a phenomenal job with that. They're doing it's just killer, man. It's freaking killer what they're doing at DC. Like the way that they're going about it is just way better, because they're not overdoing it with events. Like they'll have mini events, they'll have crossover events, but that stuff's just like them working together. It's not a big deal, you know? And it's cool, like when they do crossover events within their own group, like it's the Bat Family crossover event. Okay, so that's all good, fine. You know, they're Bat Family, whatever. You know, Lantern books, they have crossover. Okay, they're all Lantern books. You know, Superman books, like you said, it all works. It's when you do it like this Secret Empire stuff is ruining. Like
what's
going on?
Next issue for Champions and for Avengers, both of those are going to be Secret Empire tie-ins for both those titles.
And they didn't need to.
And well, here's the thing: is it really going to impact this title, this book? Is it really going to impact Champions big, or is it really going to impact the Avengers big? I mean, why? And like, will it be in time frame too?
And that's the thing is it made sense for Thunderbolts. It made sense for Sam Wilson. It makes sense for the Steve Rogers title.
Yeah.
Why does it have to span all the other titles? It doesn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is it going to span a Spider-Man title?
I'm sure it will. Because that's how their events go is they always do tie-in issues.
Miles is the one that kills Cap, remember?
It's really, you know what? That was, I wonder too if Miles is he's going to kill this Cap.
So, I mean...
That would be cool, but messed up at the same time.
I mean, really, that's what's supposed to happen, right? That's what we discovered at the end of
it's a possible
Civil
future.
War?
It's a possible future, yes.
I mean, so... Come on now. I mean...
I hope it does happen, but...
is it going to be a tie-in? Is it going to disrupt Miles' book?
If they make it work, it could work, you know?
Because they did do that with his Civil War II tie-in.
Yeah,
and
it worked. And it worked great.
Issue.
It worked phenomenally.
He was like telling this whole story.
You don't even have to read the Civil War stuff. You can just read that book.
You just read that one issue, and he's like, "Oh man, I'm so like disturbed. I'm gonna kill Captain America."
In fact, it probably would have been better if you didn't read the other Civil War books because they focused on that so much. Mm-hmm. Like it felt like 3 issues, whereas it was just like
that image was in 4 different issues.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. So, anyways, we're going on long enough. I think that's it. You have any other final words?
Keep your eyes hungry for
comics, as well as all our content at TNTM the show. You know, on all our stuff. I did the outtakes video.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
And in doing the outtakes video, I realized that we actually have a lot of extra footage that I didn't put in, like deleted scenes. In fact, there was one in specific where I was like, why did I even not put this one in? It was for the I'm Right, You're Wrong. Final Fantasy VII is the greatest Final Fantasy game. And it was the part where I interviewed that Yuna mom. And she was really great. And I don't know why I didn't put that in. I think just because I didn't want to be too repetitive by having the same person show up twice in the same video. And so I definitely have to put that out there because it turned out to be really good. It's weird though, because like, I feel like we need to really start doing this. Is I want to do stuff that's different. Like, I don't know if you've ever heard of Claudia O'Doherty, but she is freaking hilarious. And she does these videos where like, she'll a random topic. Like she did like, what is time? And then she'll like go out into the world and like, you know, talk to somebody and be like, hey, what is time?
Well, it's a fictional thing that is only created by man because we're the ones that created clocks and, you know, divided time into intervals to be measured.
And then she'll like she'll interview like a scientist that is like a horologist. And so she'll have him in the studio and it's like in a room like this
between 2 ferns.
Yeah, and it's a similar thing. And then she's just like, and it's like she never actually answers the question because she's just like it's funny and hilarious and totally weird and out there. And I want to do something like that, but it's one of those things that like if I want to do interviews like that and I want to do stuff like that, like the person has to be in on it.
Yeah.
But if the person is in on it, then they know they're in on it. So you're not going to get completely candid answers too. So it's one of those things where like, if I want to say something inappropriate or do something inappropriate, you have to be in on it because
you'll get offended.
It could go really bad. Yeah. So anyways, so I want to do stuff like that, but like we'll see. Well, you know.
Yeah, pitch some ideas, man.
But yeah, so yeah. Anyways, you know, check all of our stuff out on YouTube. So we're probably just gonna do like 1 video a week. You know, I'll probably switch it off. Like I said, I only have enough content for maybe like 1 more Albuquerque Comic Con video, and that's it. And then it's gonna be SabakuCon. My dogs are making all kinds of noise, freaking out.
They're like, Daddy.
And so I'm gonna go deal with them. Finger to the throat means death. And then yeah, I'm gonna try to go back to sleep too.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So yeah, check all of our stuff out. TNTM the show, and that's it. And make sure you keep your eyes hungry, folk.
Comics.
What the fuck? What's going on in there?
They're like all possessed and stuff.